to make the wider case on immigration. We welcome migrants.
Should immigration be reduced?
Well, I don't believe in numbers and I don't believe in salary gaps.
We've always welcomed people to work in...
Starmer versus Farage. The political battle lines are drawn. Right. Before we dive into this absolute political bloodbath, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you'll want to be notified when the next political earthquake hits. And with this lot, it's never more than 5 minutes away. Parliament's back. The summer holidays are over, and already the knives are out. Keir Starmer has come out swinging, and his target? Nigel Farage and his merry band of Reform UK agitators. But this isn't just your typical Westminster spat. This is about the very soul of British politics, and frankly, it's getting rather nasty. So what's got our Prime Minister's knickers in such a twist? Well, whilst most of us were trying to enjoy what passes for summer in Britain, Nigel Farage has been rather busy. Not in Parliament. Mind you, oh no, he's been gallivanting around America, presumably whispering sweet nothings into Donald Trump's ear about how absolutely dreadful Britain has become. Because nothing says patriotic leadership like slagging off your own country from across the Atlantic, does it? But here's where it gets properly juicy. Starmer has accused Farage and the Conservatives, yes, he's lumping them together now, how deliciously provocative, of talking down the country at every turn. Strong words from a man who spent the better part of his career criticizing government policy. The irony is so thick you could spread it on toast. Now, you might be thinking, surely this is just typical political point scoring. But hold on, because Farage's latest wheeze is something rather more sinister. He's unveiled what he grandly calls his immigration master plan, and it includes, brace yourselves, paying the Taliban to take back migrants. Yes, you heard that correctly. The Taliban. The same charming fellows who've made women's rights disappear faster than a decent curry house in a gentrified neighborhood. When pressed on the details of this rather ambitious diplomatic venture, Farage's response was pure comedy gold. The costings were reliable, he assured us, because his colleague Zia Yusuf is really good at maths. Well, that's reassuring, isn't it? Nothing instills confidence in a multi-billion-pound deportation scheme quite like a casual endorsement of someone's arithmetic skills. Dame Angela Eagle, bless her, wasn't having any of it. She dismissed these proposals as back-of-the-fag packet plans without the substance on delivery. Brutal, but arguably accurate. It's the political equivalent of promising to solve climate change with a really big fan. But let's not pretend Starmer's hands are entirely clean here. Whilst he's busy accusing others of scaremongering, he's had his own summer of discontent. Riots, legal battles over asylum accommodation, and the constant pressure of actually having to govern rather than simply criticize from the opposition benches. It turns out being Prime Minister is rather more complicated than shouting that's not good enough from across the dispatch box. The timing of Starmer's offensive is no accident. Parliament reconvenes today, and he desperately needs to wrestle back control of the narrative. Throughout the summer recess, Farage has been playing an absolute blinder, capturing headlines with his Lawless Britain campaign and connecting immigration to every social ill imaginable. It's inflammatory, divisive, and politically rather clever. Farage understands something that many Westminster insiders seem to forget. Politics is as much about emotion as policy. Cabinet Minister Bridget Phillipson spelled it out rather nicely on Sunday. Reform UK, she suggested, doesn't actually want to solve problems. They profit from anger. It's in their interests, she noted, suggesting that Farage believes their political interests are served by whipping up anger rather than fixing problems. It's a damning assessment, but is it fair? Well, consider the evidence. While Starmer is announcing his Best Start in Life initiative, extending free childcare, broadening school meal provision, reducing uniform costs, Farage is in America talking about mass deportations and compensating terrorists. One approach focuses on practical improvements to family life, the other on grandiose gestures that sound impressive but fall apart under scrutiny. Starmer's trying to paint himself as a practical one, the man rolling up his sleeves whilst others play political games. "I'm not interested in scaremongering from the sidelines," he declared, with all the righteous indignation of a headmaster addressing particularly unruly pupils. "I'm rolling up my sleeves to deliver change that makes a difference to you and your family." It's a compelling narrative, but there's a problem. Politics isn't just about policy delivery. It's about perception, narrative, and yes, emotion. Farage understands this instinctively. He knows that a dramatic proposal, however impractical, can capture public imagination more effectively than a carefully costed Child King program. Take reforms rise in the polls. For instance, they are not surging because their policies withstand rigorous analysis. They are gaining support because they are offering simple solutions to complex problems. It's politically seductive, even if it's practically nonsense. This is where Starmer faces his greatest challenge. He's trying to be the serious, responsible leader whilst Farage plays a populist provocateur. It's like trying to win a shouting match by speaking in measured tones. Admirable, but not always effective. The restructuring within Downing Street last week tells us everything we need to know about Starmer's mindset. His emphasizing policy delivery, bringing in problem solvers like the rumored appointment of Baroness Louise Casey. But here's the uncomfortable truth. In modern politics, perception often matters more than performance. Farage's theatrical gestures and inflammatory language cut through the noise in ways that careful policy announcements simply don't. It's frustrating for those who believe politics should be about substance, but it's a reality we're dealing with. Home Secretary Yvette Cooper will attempt to address this challenge head-on when she outlines the government approach to small boats. It's a direct response to Farage's deportation fantasies, an attempt to show that serious people can address serious problems without resorting to Taliban diplomacy. The broader question is whether British voters want competent governance or compelling theatre. Starmer is betting on the former, Farage on the latter. The early signs suggest this could be one of the defining political battles of our time. What makes this particularly fascinating is how both men are positioning themselves. Starmer as the steady hand, the serious politician focused on delivery. Farage as a disruptor, the truth-teller unafraid to propose radical solutions. Both narratives have merit, and both have flaws. The reality is that Britain faces genuine challenges that require both practical solutions and political leadership. Immigration, economic inequality, social cohesion. These aren't problems that can be solved with sound bites or theatrical gestures. They require sustained effort, careful policymaking, and yes, political courage. Whether Starmer can provide that leadership whilst fending off Farage's populist assault remains to be seen. What's certain is that this battle will define not just their political futures, but the direction of British politics itself. The stakes couldn't be higher, the battle lines couldn't be clearer, and frankly, it's going to be absolutely riveting to watch. Because when serious politicians clash with populist provocateurs, nobody quite knows how it's going to end. So there you have it. Starmer versus Farage, substance versus spectacle, serious governance versus political theatre. Keep your eyes peeled, because this is just the opening salvo in what promises to be a fascinating political war. Don't forget to subscribe. You really won't want to miss what happens next in this absolutely captivating saga of British politics.